Very nice. That's the hot box right there.
When you have the father-son combo enjoying having a great time, celebrating pulling their favorite player, whether it's a nickel card or whether it's $1,000 card, just getting to see people enjoy the whole experience of collecting day in and day out is by far what's the best part of it. I want people to come out on Saturday, have a great 30 minutes here, have whatever it is. Have a great time coming here, buying that box, and going home and ripping it on their YouTube channel. I'm Matthew Cook. I'm owner of Underdog Collectibles here in Knoxville, Tennessee. The card that is stuck in my mind is the card that got my attention, that made me an addict. It was the '87 Donruss Mark McGwire. My first year watching baseball was '87. That was the year he set the rookie record for home runs. I fell in love with McGwire. I had that and kept it with me with pride. Then one day I accidentally damaged it, and I cried like a kid that age would when they destroyed their favorite thing. But the '87 Donruss, Mark McGwire, is definitely the card that stuck me. My parents were not collectors. My parents weren't baseball fans. I quickly grabbed both and ran wild with both, and have been pretty consistent in the sports card market and hobby since then. I started working at a card shop at 13 years old. I worked there for several years, grew older and progressed to real life jobs. I always maintained collecting and oftentimes selling, even being able to do some of the larger regional and national shows. Roughly 2019, along with my business partner, we got this great idea that we needed to start a business back in the card market. And so we started Underdog Collectibles to do online breaks. We did that for a couple years. Both of us had always had a lifelong dream of owning a card shop. So it was like, it's going well enough. Here's our chance. Let's give it a shot.
Proctor.
The landscape for baseball cards today is Topps is the only licensed manufacturer. So all licensed Major League Baseball cards are going to be produced by Topps. All ranges from your base top set that has been pretty similar since 1952 to they make products where you get one card that's already encapsulated, has a piece of game used material and is signed by the athlete and is numbered out of 10 or less. So there is an extremely wide spectrum of cards at this point. The most significant current cards started early 1900s. They were distributed with cigarettes. And at some point, that progressed over to bubble gum. The gum continued even until, when I first started, there was still gum in it. It was most certainly not the best gum, but it came with gum, but that was no longer what any of us were after. In 1980, it started to expand with the addition of Donruss and Fleer. So from 1981 through, I guess, 1988, almost all packs were only 50 cents. I want to say when 1989 Upper Deck came out, it was $3, $4, maybe even $5 a pack at the time, which was absolutely unheard of for something that had always been 50 cents. And it was a more premium stock card. It had a tamper-proof hologram. Then in the late 90s, we started to progress to serial numbering. The 91 Proline football set was the first one I remember that had autographed cards inserted in the packs. They were extremely impossible to come by. You'd be lucky to find one or two of the autographed cards at a local show with 50 vendors. From there, it slowly progressed that autographs became more frequent. Then late 90s, there was the addition of memorabilia that was started to be put in the cards as well. So the manufacturers would take a game-used jersey of the player, cut it into little 1x1 squares and insert it in the card. So now the cards had a piece of memorabilia.
That is a shoelace card, straight cut from his shoe. And I don't know if you can tell,
I want to be higher than
but on the bottom there, it's 1 of 1. So there's only one of these in existence.
I want to be
Very cool.
The quality continues to evolve tremendously, but we are now very focused on the serial number cards, autograph cards, and memorabilia cards.
shy. Hey, Walker's guy.
Son is over on the corner. No, wait, that one corner, like straight up.
Is Ricky PSA 10?
Kitty corner.
Yeah, so I mean, it's the thrill, the chase. Open up the cards. Who do we get? Do we know anybody that wants it? They do a really good job here of building a community. So when we take boxes, we open them here, we open them at home. We've actually started our own little Instagram page where we open them at home, unboxing. It's a lot of fun, but you know, the community aspect, when we know somebody that collects somebody specific and it's maybe not somebody that we like or we collect, we trade or drop off here and say, hey, leave it for this guy or leave it for so-and-so. So it's taught my son and my daughter both a lot about just, you know, being a good person.
It's got a good case, so we'll see if you're interested.
You see young, you see old here. You've got young kids learning about the hobby, learning about, you know, the financial aspect of it, you know, what they're worth, am I getting the value out of the card? Just a lot of life lessons, I feel like. And the shop here does a good job of educating young collectors and even new collectors. When we got back into it about 6 months ago, a lot changed. You know, when I was growing up, you went every month and got the Beckett and you looked up the price of the card. Now everything's electronically driven. You go and look on eBay or different sites and you see what the last 4 or 5 cards have sold for. So they do a really good job here of educating on, you know how to get the most for your money and different things to chase and stuff like that. So they just do a really good job here. And the community itself, the hobby, does a really good job of including both young and old and incorporating everybody.
You do? That's good, that's good. This is my favorite player, by the way.
Is it
Dolphins fan, yeah, that's my guy. So here's the
I primarily only see people that are truly collecting. I don't have anyone coming through the shop treating it like a slot machine that this is a chance to get rich. If I have people coming in asking for investment advice, my answer is always, you need to collect what you enjoy. If you want to invest, go try the stock market. This is not where I would be investing. It's a hobby, not an investment tool. What I would like to see for the future of the hobby is just a continued growth and expansion, finding people that aren't collectors, introducing them to the fun of it, and keeping with that core that is doing it, that it's something they continue to enjoy.